guys, I'm Sai, and welcome to Ace Podcast Nation. On the channel, we have podcasts on wrestling, football, music, mental health, anything you can think of. We do podcasts on it. At least 3 new shows per week, but not per day, per week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can find the video versions at youtube.com/Ace Podcast Nation or the audio at iTunes, not iTunes anymore, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all that good stuff. Today we are talking wrestling, the Graps, and I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, writer and interviewer of Post Wrestling, Mr. Andrew Thompson. Welcome, buddy. How we going?
It's always good to be back on the ACEcast. Just hit 600 subscribers as of this conversation. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much, my friend. Yep, just before this show, we did our first live show, talking some football or some soccer for the old American listeners and viewers. But yeah, it was good fun. It was a lot of fun, actually. I really enjoyed it. I wasn't sure how it was going to go because I'm so used to recording shows. Like I've done over 130 odd now of just recording. So it was a new experience, and I'm all about the new experience, my friend. So we're going to talk some wrestling, some pro wrestling, some World Collide from Saturday night, and also the Royal Rumble from last night. But I know before we do that, you wanted to say a few words about the man who, at the start of the show, we ran a graphic for, Mr. Kobe Bryant. Take it away, my friend.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure everybody knows by now. The news is all over the place, but Kobe Bryant passed away at the age of 41 on January 26th, and his daughter Gianna passed away along with him. They were in a helicopter accident along with 7 other people, I believe. I think it's 9 total, but 7 total people. And none of the people survived the crash. Just first and foremost, I do want to say, send my condolences to the fellow people who weren't as publicized, for their passing, because that was basically an entire family that passed away. So and they left along two other family members. So I know that sucks completely. But most of the attention was centered around the loss of Kobe and his daughter, and I think it's the thing is I know it's a lot of people that was like they were saying like to tend what happens is when celebrities pass away, there's people who come out and say, well, how can you be sad about a person that you don't know? You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a normal thing. But the thing is, Kobe transcended cultures and his sport. He was bigger than his sport, and that's not a slight on anybody else in the sport. It's just he was that big of a superstar. You know what I'm saying? So and like even when I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure like many other kids around the world, like when we were in school, I used to like get like a little paper ball and run up to the trash can and shoot it and yell out Kobe. Like a lot of people did that. A lot of people did that. I did that all the time. Probably why I got in trouble so damn much at school. Kept trying to be Kobe, but like dude was really a transcending athlete, and from just from what I've seen, he was a great father. You know what I'm saying? So it just sucks knowing that what I'm saying. Trying to imagine what his last moments were like, knowing that his daughter was right there, and that's just terrible, man. So just to leave it on that note, it's okay to grieve over a person that you never met personally. You know what I'm saying? So, and but bless everybody, the families that gotta transition from that, and I don't even know how you if there's even a way to move forward after something like that, considering that you just lost. And like I was just thinking about it, like Kobe's wife, Vanessa. Sometimes like, bro, she was with him since they were 17. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you literally grow up with somebody, you bring life into this world with somebody, and then you see him one day, and routine, normal, goodbye, see you later type thing, and just like that. Like that's how quick life can be taken. So, just take care of your loved ones, man. Tell your folks you love them. Ain't nothing worth in this world that's, what I'm saying, you be hateful towards somebody or anything like that. Just tell your folks you love them, man. So yeah, that's all I got to say on it.
Couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. It's life is unpredictable and cruel, and the thing is like as human beings, we've all got faults, we've all got things going on, and I think sometimes we're all guilty of taking for granted what we have, the people we
Yeah.
have in our life, because you just go about your business, you go about your day, you do this, you do that. We get involved in maybe silly arguments or dwell on stuff that really, in the grand scheme of things, does not matter. And we should just all focus today on what you have and the people you have in your life, and tell them how important they are to you. That's what I've been doing today. Is I've been telling my kids, my wife, telling them what they mean to me, and also I've tried to tell my older kids about the impact which someone like Kobe Bryant has on um like on people as a whole, but in particular like just young kids in America who
Yeah.
are growing up and getting into trouble or doing this and that. They can see that anything can be possible. And
Hmm.
yeah, so we'll leave it at that. But condolences and blessings to their families, their friends, and everyone who's affected by it, because it sucks. And
Yeah, man.
yeah, we need more positivity and love in this world rather than hate and all the rest of it, which we get a whole lot of, unfortunately, on the old social media. So, Saturday was Worlds Collide. How did you enjoy the show?
Like I said, let's brighten up the mood, man, and talk about some good graps, some worlds collide. Now, I actually thought it was a good show. It didn't feel like a takeover per se, but it was a real good show. I enjoyed it, like from top to bottom. I think it was a solid show, and the main event really delivered. I was very happy with the main event.
Yeah, I think the main event, considering what happened to Alexander Wolf, that they then had to do a lot of it kind of on the fly, shows
Mm.
how talented these guys are, because it was awesome. I thought it was a real good show. Uh, yeah, well, it wasn't quite up to takeover level. There was a couple of matches on there which I thought were takeover level, um, but there was a couple of matches which perhaps weren't. I thought they
Hmm.
did a good job of kind of like building some stuff, some little storylines or characters. So I do think that they, it was worth watching. And if someone asked me, is it worth going out of my way to seek out and watch, then I would say yes. There was more good than bad. The bad was pretty minimal, I thought.
Hmm.
Okay, so pre-show, Kaylee Ray versus Mia Yim. What you
That's it.
got?
I actually didn't see the pre-show. I saw the start of the main card, but I did hear good things. Good things from both Mia Yim and Kaylee Ray. Apparently, it was a good match for what it was, and I heard that Kaylee Ray got some good shine, and I think that's needed for the NXT UK Women's Championship. Or I'm pretty sure you saw the news side. They're not calling it the Women's Championship anymore. Just calling it the
Yeah,
NXT Championship and the NXT UK Championship, which can be kind of confusing at times. But I mean, I don't really have an issue with it. I just feel like like I'm kind of torn on it because I understand like you don't want to, what I'm saying, hold anybody back, or
yeah,
you don't want to, you don't want to do that. But at the same time, it's like I think that's what makes it distinct.
yeah.
That's
That
the
was giving it the kind of unique feel. Just what
yeah.
differentiates it from the the men's title. Look, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it makes a great deal of difference in terms of the name, but
yeah.
it is what it is, I guess. I sort of caught the end of the Mia Yim and Kaylee Ray match. I thought Kaylee Ray looked real good. I really liked the way they went about it. They gave her some nice shine. Um, Mia looked okay as well. You know, it was more about getting Kaylee Ray that shine and that
Right.
kind of looking good. But Mia hit a nice Canadian destroyer for a near fall just towards the end. Kaylee Ray rolled her up for a near fall, and then they kind of exchanged pin attempts until Kaylee Ray won with a pin while falling into the ropes for leverage. It was okay for what it was, and I kind of enjoyed it a bit more than the Rhea Ripley match later on in the show. But
Mm.
that's another story which we'll get to. The
I,
main
I
show. Come on.
I really like the intro for the show, the Winston Churchill. I don't know why I like that, but I really like that intro about
It
the
was
like the
it was
war and
cool,
stuff.
wasn't
Like
it?
I was like that's a nice intro right there. That was a good job.
Yeah, man. It was
That, 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 that
something
that's one thing
different.
I always give WWE they props for. They always deliver with the promo packages.
Yeah, their video packages are always on point. Always on
Okay,
point.
okay, Muscle Man,
Muscle Mania.
do the Muscle Man dance.
Getting a bit, a bit warm. All these
Toasting in Cardiff,
podcasts.
huh?
I know it's freezing. They got the heat, got the heating on full blast. Um, and then the main card started with Finn Balor versus Ilya Dragunov.
Who you're
Um,
on the line with right now?
that's right, live,
In-
live.
in- Inside joke, everybody.
Yeah, they can't see it because it doesn't come out. The name doesn't come out. But on the software which I use to record my shows, you got to put a name in, and Andrew has put in Ilya Dragunov as his name because he's that guy. He wants to be Ilya. I
Yeah,
got to
but
say,
oh,
oh,
I was
go.
about to say, just for like the first match, like, dude, did you like had that feeling during the first match, like this dude Finn Balor is like really having like a career resurgence right now,
Yeah,
and it is crazy to see like how different he's coming off opposed to where he was just last year. Like it is ridiculous. Like this time last year, I could not care less about Finn Balor honestly, and like now just to see who he is, it is hella refreshing. Just to like, people love Finn Balor again. They love him.
yeah.
They love him, man. So yeah, he's doing some real good stuff, and it was just like when after the match, like, and we of course we'll talk about the match, but like after when he was on the top rope, I mean when he was on the rope, doing his pose and stuff, I was like, dude, Finn Balor's like really having like a career resurgence right now.
He looks happy as well. He
Yeah.
what I liked about this match, particularly as it went on, is no one expected Ilya Dragunov to win because Finn's got this big match with Johnny Gargano coming up. So everyone kind of was guessing that Finn's going to win, but the way they built the match made you think not only that Ilya might kind of pinch a win somehow, but also um, Finn sold like a champ for
Mm-hmm.
Ilya Dragunov. He made him look real good. Um, and WWE as a whole is not always good at making people who lose matches look strong. But I thought Ilya Dragunov was about as strong as he could be without winning. If that makes
Yeah, they,
sense.
they yeah they did the same thing. Remember they did the same thing with him and Cesaro at Cardiff.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did the exact same thing. Like he lost, but he looked strong in his loss. And I don't know what it is, but I guess Ilya has that thing where he can face people like top level stars and get beat, and it doesn't really do anything to him.
yeah. I think they've got to be slightly careful. But what would be, I think, quite a good little maybe storyline for him would be if they kind of do it so maybe at the next UK takeover he faces who could he face? Uh, say a Tyler Bate or a
Mm.
like a big name from that, or like I know, Cassius Ono in a like a banger, but then, and you think maybe, or even a bigger name than that, someone on the level of like Cesaro who can really go, or like a Finn, and then
Basically, someone who you wouldn't expect to see in
yeah,
NXT UK.
and then when they have the same banger and you think, oh, he's gonna, they're gonna make him look good, but he's gonna lose again, and then you give him the win. So he's faced Cesaro, come close, faced Finn, come close, and then you finally have him beat that big star on the big stage. And I feel like that could do a lot for him because he he's just got something about him. He's got this presence which, like at the start, his reactions, they weren't that strong. The crowd was kind of into him, but not, because they were really into Finn as well. Probably didn't help. But by the end, they loved Ilya Dragunov. And I feel
Yeah,
like he has just got something special about him that just
I,
connects
I
with the audience.
I feel like most of the crowd. I'm not gonna say everybody, but I'm gonna say like the majority. They probably don't even watch NXT UK consistently. So when he initially came out, they probably was like, "Oh yeah, that's the NXT UK guy," but who is he? And I'm pretty sure there was some people in the crowd who've seen Ilya outside of NXT UK, but not a majority enough to get like a big reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like how Tyler Bate and Trent Seven got like those type of reactions. But yeah, I think there's it's like for me, it's like something missing with Ilya. Like I don't know what it like when he gets in the ring, everything's fine. Like, and I see why everybody likes him, but like it's just something that's like not clicking for me with Ilya, like outside of the ring. Like I don't know what it is, but I think once he finds that, then he'll start connecting with that NXT UK based audience. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And then maybe he can transition over to the NXT US, like how Jordan Devlin is. Like I think
Mm.
Jordan Devlin has gotten over to the point where he can now. Well, he is now. He's the champion, but I think now that he's gotten over to the point where he can make that move to NXT on USA Network.
Do you think he'll take the cruiserweight title and defend it a couple of times in the NXT UK?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, I think this is gonna be difficult because with the tapings.
Yeah,
So like I think it's gonna be better suit that he defended. Uh, I think he's gonna have to defend it in on the USA Network.
yeah, I think so. So yeah, the Balor and Dragunov match was quite back and forth. Some brutal slaps and kicks, and like I said, Finn really sold quite a lot more than I thought he was going to for Dragunov. Um, the finish, Ilya hit a brutal looking coast to coast drop kick. Finn was like draped over the bottom rope, like into the ring, and from the apron, and it just looked nasty because Finn was selling it so well. He was selling it like he was like out of it completely. He was like he had been like staggering around on the outside, and he kind of was draped over the ropes from the apron to the inside of the ring. And Dragunov hits a nice coast to coast for a near fall, and then Finn hit the shotgun drop kick, which looks even little things like so. Like a year ago, those drop kicks. I was so sick of those drop kicks from Finn. It felt like he was just doing drop kicks all the time. But then all of a sudden, this drop kick to set up the coup de grace and then 1916 for the win. The shotgun drop kick just looks real snappy and real quick. And
So can I ask you something? Does
yeah, man.
the Bloody Sunday is the same thing as the 1916, isn't it? So why they call it
No,
the
no, no.
1916?
So the 1916 is like the reverse DDT, and then the Bloody Sunday is like a brainbuster DDT,
But
or it might
that's
be the other way around.
that's what I'm saying. That's the one he does.
Yeah, I
That's the
think
one he did to
NXT
Ilya.
have changed the name around.
Oh
So
yeah, okay. All right, I got you. Now, because I was just wondering, because I was like, I thought that was the Bloody Sunday. I thought that's what it was, but they probably don't want that, be on national TV. Hit the
yeah,
Bloody
no,
Sunday,
no.
like they. But
Yeah, if you Google Bloody Sunday, all sorts of
I
stuff
think the
come up.
Bloody Sunday is I think the Bloody Sunday is cooler. But
It is. It is much
you want to
cooler.
know what? That's kind of like how AEW changed the Death Rider to the Paradigm Shift.
Yeah, it's just where they're on network TV, I suppose, and they're trying
Yeah,
to just make sure they don't get any
tighten it up a
complaints.
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I thought this was a good match, mate. Did you enjoy this one?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a real good opener. I think this was a good match to open the show. Finn looked strong heading to Takeover Portland, which is in like 2.5 weeks. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's looking sharp for Finn, man. Like, do you find this Finn Balor more interesting than the Demon? I do.
I do.
I
Yeah,
don't know
because
why,
the demon,
but I do.
I think, depending on who the
Like,
demon's going to face, he's relatively one-dimensional.
for real, it was no different. Like, it was just Finn Balor doing the same damn moves with face paint. Like, it
Yeah,
was
and
like,
just a bit more aggressive, isn't he?
yeah, that's all it was. And like, I feel like this Finn Balor is like so different. But that's also a credit to NXT and how they presented him. And it's kind of sad in a way that he literally had to go back to NXT to get like refreshed, and now he feels like a superstar again.
Yeah,
But like, but I mean, like going back to the match, it was a good match. I think Ilya looked good. I'm very interested to see what they do with him now because I don't want him to turn into Dolph Ziggler. But he's just a guy
yeah, they beat him.
that.
Yeah. I was a little bit surprised. I thought that for sure they were starting with the tag match between DIY and Mustache Mountain because NXT loves starting their events with like a banger of
Yeah, the tag
a
title match.
tag
Yep.
match.
Yep.
So I was a little bit surprised by that, but I thought this was a good opener. This Balor and Dragunov was one of the good matches. I thought it was one of the higher points. Like um, there was one or two matches where I didn't enjoy, and then the rest were anything from real good to incredible. And the Balor match for me was real good. Good opener. Next up was the NXT Cruiserweight Fatal 4-Way match. Angel Garza, the champion, versus Isaiah Swerve Scott, Jordan Devlin, and Travis Banks. Talk
What
me
what
through this, my friend.
weren't you surprised they did the switch this early? Because Andrew Garza just won a
Yeah.
championship like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. They did the switch early, man.
Well, I was surprised they took it off Leo Rush because I thought he was doing a great job as champ, and I figured,
Mm.
NXT tends to have these kind of longer runs because they mean more. So I was surprised when they took it off Leo Rush. So I was even more surprised when they gave it to took it off Angel Garza and gave it to Jordan Devlin. I was happy for Jordan Devlin. Um, because I wanted him to win his match the other day. What was the show? The NXT Blackpool. If you remember when we
Mm.
recorded that show, I was a bit
Yeah.
irritated that they didn't give him the win there, because I felt like it wouldn't have hurt Tyler Bate at all. Um, and so maybe this was like a reward because he's been
Yeah.
doing some incredible work for the last year.
Yeah, man. Jordan Devlin, I know me and you talked about this during the last podcast for the Takeover Blackpool 2 podcast. Like after seeing his work like in OTT and on the independent scene, like I can't see him like as a mid card guy anymore.
No.
Like he's a top level talent. He may not be big and he may not look the part, I guess, and that's how you want to word it, but you know what I'm saying? Like
I
Jordan
think
Devlin is
he might be
he,
short, but he's jacked, and he looks like an athlete and a star.
yeah.
I
And
think people,
I think one of the things like people constantly compare him to Finn Balor, and then it doesn't help that Finn Balor actually trained him. You know,
yeah,
it would be a different thing if like they had no connection whatsoever, but they do. Finn
yeah,
Balor basically taught him
yeah,
what he knows for the most part. So like it's like I mean, but I think he's starting to shake those, and he's starting to come into his own as far in WWE because he's been coming into his own outside of the company. But I think them putting the cruiserweight title on him, I think that means more NXT USA appearances, more 205 Live appearances. So he's going to be at SmackDown. I think there's going to be more experience for him. Like a lot of good stuff is coming his way going forward, and I also think it has something to do with Shawn Michaels sort of being like the head of NXT UK. You know, Shawn Michaels is working very
yeah.
closely in NXT UK, so I think that also has something to do. Like Shawn probably walked through the Triple H like, "You're not gonna keep fucking my guys, brother. You got to put the title on one of my guys, brother." So
Yeah, stop beating him.
yeah, yeah.
I'd
But all jokes aside, yeah, I agree with you saying like Jordan Devlin's doing some great stuff, man.
Yeah, I would really like to see more integration between the two brands. I gotta say,
Hmm.
there's some real talented guys on NXT UK, but they're not getting the eyes that they deserve. And I think a large part of that is because of oversaturation of wrestling. There's so much wrestling, people do
Dude,
not have the time to watch
so
it.
much revenue.
And like for me, I really, really enjoy NXT UK, really enjoy it. But Raw, NWA, NXT, AEW, and SmackDown all come before NXT UK for me in
Hmm.
terms of what I'm going to watch. And then that's without
And
including
then you got New
ROH
Japan,
and New Japan and Impact.
man.
So it's like, I've only got so many days in the week.
Oh yeah,
I don't
just
see my wife and kids as it is because I'm always doing podcasts,
all right.
watching
I was I
wrestling.
just want to ask you just real quick. So, after we finish the Royal Rumble at World's Collide, you want to preview the New Japan big new beginning card that they got coming up with Moxley and Suzuki and Naito and Kenta? Like they got a big card coming up real soon.
Yeah, man, we can do some predictions for that. I'm up for that.
Now, sweet.
We'll see what the time is because I know you've got plans and it's getting
Yeah.
late, late. But we got loads to talk about, and I'm looking forward to talking about some of this stuff as well.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
what did you think
real
of
quick
this?
before we.
Go on.
Oh, I was about to say real quick before we jump to the next match or continue talking about this match. So I just need your thoughts on this because I know you about to be funny. So what do you think about them doing the Saudi Arabia show a week before Elimination Chamber?
Jesus.
Like it's literally a week before Elimination Chamber. And look, I'm not going to just jump down their throat immediately, but like, come on, man! Like a week before Elimination Chamber, like you basically throwing your stories to the wolves. Like it's like you planning a big show that has storyline ties to what you're going to be doing the following Sunday at one of your second or whatever third or fourth, fifth big pay per view of the year. That's the final pay per view before WrestleMania. Why do the Saudi show now? Like you're literally doing this a week before Elimination Chamber. Like I don't get it.
Well, here's the thing for me, okay? Right. What I don't like is they could, if they have to do these Saudi shows, whatever. I'm not going to get into that whole debate. If they want to do
Mm,
them, fine. Just do it as a pay per view. Like, don't don't slam them in between these pay per views, or like
right.
put them like a week before, or just remove one of your pay per views and take it out and put the Saudi show in. That way,
Mm,
you're not like forcing it and like you say, just completely ruining or abandoning your storylines. And like this period now between Rumble and WrestleMania and Elimination Chamber, they're some of the most viewed storylines. They're a lot of the time they're the most captivating storylines that they do all year. Why would you want to risk ruining that or disrupting that by
mm.
just slamming some random crappy show in the middle? Because they do separate storylines for these Saudi shows. Like
Yeah.
it wouldn't be so bad if they kind of linked it all together so it influenced, the
Mm,
stories going forward, but they don't.
mm.
They just come up with their own, like it's like you've got like the Saudi verse or something where the
The
Saudi
Saudi
Arabia
verse.
the Saudi Arabia shows have got their own bloody.
But like you want to know what I'm mostly concerned about is like how they're going to put together the elimination chamber card because of the Saudi Arabia. Because I'm pretty sure they're going to announce all the Saudi Arabia stuff, and then it's not like how it was with the Saudi Arabia show around Survivor Series because you at least had like 2 weeks, three
Yeah,
weeks in between. This one, bro, you got like 6 days. Like to put together a full card for
they
Elimination Chamber, and I know a lot of people, including you and myself, look forward to Elimination Chamber.
I love
Like that's
Elimination
a fun
Chamber.
show. And like,
Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank are two of my
right,
favorite pay per views. What they should do is they should have qualifier matches for Elimination Chamber
at
at
the
the
Saudi
Saudi,
show. Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
so
That's a good
that
idea.
they matter, so more people will watch it because they actually matter. But also, you're not disrupting everything and ruining everything in terms of your long-term storytelling towards WrestleMania. So have
And
qualifier matches for every spot you need to fill.
then we also
Announce the
got to
title
factor in,
matches for Elimination Chamber. Announce any title matches before Saudi show and build to them using the Saudi show. Don't ruin them using the Saudi show.
is that we also got to factor in that the Saudi show is the day before SmackDown.
Jesus.
So yeah, that's something, man.
Don't need
But we gonna see.
Don't need that drama again.
Yeah, we gonna see though, man. We gonna see.
There was in this cruiserweight match, there was some real cool spots, like group spots. They did instead of doing the normal Tower of Doom, they did like a I don't know how to describe it. It was like how can I describe it? It was basically they were all kind of stacked up, but in different ways to normal. And I think one of them does like a slice of heaven off the top rope, and the key follow. Oh Jesus! Again, all confused with the two spots now. I nearly dropped a massive F bomb then because I've completely lost my place.
One of the things I really did like about the match was the strikes. I feel like everybody had some real solid strikes in this match. Like everybody stood out for the most part. Like I kind of feel like Travis Banks kind of got lost in the mix a little bit at times, and I feel like Swerve, Angel Garza, and Jordan Devlin sort of stole the show, and Travis Banks was kind of just there. But I feel like he came alive a little bit and had his own special moments and stuff like that.
Yeah, Travis Banks came alive towards the end, and he hit Jordan hit a double suplex, and then Travis hit him with this slice of heaven, and then he hit the Kiwi Crusher, and then there was a spot where Jordan Devlin goes to put him in, yank him up into his finishing maneuver, and he hits a destroyer from he's laid on the floor, and Jordan Devlin pulls him up, and he flicks over into the destroyer from being on the floor. It was real smooth looking destroyer, and the way Devlin sold it was just beautiful. He ended up with his face on the mat and his feet on the second rope, and it was nice. It was nice. It's a good match, but yeah, I agree with you. I thought Travis Banks got a little bit lost, particularly in the first half of the match, but he did come alive. Swerve, Isaiah Scott, I really, really enjoy his work.
That man is a star.
So good.
He is a star. Really.
Here's a question then. Do you think where Umberto Carrillo is struggling a bit to get over, do you think they will move Angel Garza up, and that's why they took the title and put him with Umberto?
Nah, I think Angel Garza stays in the NXT. I think that's more of a fit for him, opposed to just getting thrusted onto the main roster and just being randomly paired against Andrade.
Yeah, but he's got that star quality, haven't he, Angel Garza?
Yeah, he does. But I mean that that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate to the main roster.
Yeah, true.
It could always fizzle out with anything. So I feel like it would take a minute for him to get the crowd behind him. Well, not even. I think it would take not that long because he's got that quality that you talked about him that makes him likable or makes him hateable. I guess the character hateable. But yeah, Angel Garza, I think he's gonna do well in NXT. And honestly, what I think is gonna happen, I think they probably gonna run it back and take over Portland. Run it back again, do it again.
What, the 4-way or just the two of them?
Probably a multi-match. You want to know what I really want to see, just fantasy booking. I want to see a cruiserweight ladder match. You want to know what I want? Give me this is what I want. I want a 6-man cruiserweight ladder match. I want Angel Garza. I want Swerve. I want Jordan Devlin. I want Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, and Leo Rush. That's what I want. Give it to me. and I guarantee you that match will be the match, one of the top matches of the year. Give me that. Give me
God
Cedric and Mustafa
damn.
Ali back in NXT. That's what I want. They ain't doing nothing anyway.
Yeah, they would be awesome in NXT as well. And I feel like both of them, if they were to go back into NXT and start having cruiserweight matches, I feel like they would both get real over. And
Oh yeah.
then you can move them into, like North American title matches or the world title picture. Like people forget, like I said about 3 years ago that I thought that they should have booked. Soon as 205 Live it was clear it wasn't really working, and the crowd were just not. They either weren't staying after the shows to watch it, or they were just quiet. They should have moved the recordings to the NXT arena or to Full Sail, as they like to call it, and they should have moved it there because all those guys doing those matches that they do on 205 Live would have got over like hell, and they would have seemed like bigger stars to the TV audience because the crowd was so into them at Full Sail. They should have done that like a year ago at least. And I feel like you put Mustafa Ali for an extended run in NXT or Cedric Alexander, and they'll be incredible within weeks. They'll be over like Rover.
You want to say how many people are left on 205 like 205 Live? But it's like Brian Kendrick, Arya Davari, Gallagher. That's it, right?
Yeah, there's not many, is
The
there?
Bollywood boys.
Yeah,
Like that's
I think
it.
like the rest of them are kind of they go on NXT,
Floating
don't they?
around. Yeah.
But I
The
mean,
rest of them floating around.
Mustafa Ali is so special. It's just a waste to not use him. And what frustrates me with it is he got himself over. Like apart
When he
from
had the
like
Daniel Bryan thing.
yeah, when he had those doing those promos, people love him. He's really he brings out
Likeable
like
person, man.
yeah, man. He makes
And his
you
entrance cool as
like
hell.
him. Yeah, he's good for this. And the kids love him. Like people like him. And to make it even better, he does really insane stuff in the ring. And it just seems weird that they're not using him. But then I was looking at the Rumble last night, and all of a sudden WWE have got a lot of big guys again, whereas the focus has been a lot on a lot of smaller guys. They've all of a sudden got quite a lot of big guys who can really go, which is a kind of interesting twist. And I wonder whether Vince is looking at those guys and looking at Mustafa Ali and thinking, sorry, man.
You want to know one of the bigger mistakes with Mustafa Ali, and I think you agree with this. I think that they really made a mistake when they didn't have him challenge Kofi for the WWE title. I think that was like a ready-made feud. You remember when Mustafa Ali got taken out of the match, and then that's what led to Kofi getting into the chamber, and then basically started Kofi Mania. And I feel like it was just a ready-made story for him to challenge Kofi for the title. You didn't even need anybody to be the bad guy. Like it was just Mustafa Ali. Like this wouldn't be happening if I didn't get injured. So I want my shot. And
yeah,
there
ready
you go.
made.
They never did it. Never did. They haven't even revisited yet. Like I think only time they talked about it was when Kofi and Mustafa do their interviews. But like WWE never even touched it. So
yeah,
that was a
unfortunately,
mistake right there.
well,
But they went with
unfortunately,
Dolph Ziggler, so hey,
yeah,
go with Dolph Ziggler, right?
Jesus, Dolph. Unfortunately, WWE are making a lot of mistakes on SmackDown with their storytelling, shall we say, or lack of.
Yeah.
Lots of holes. Next up, DIY versus Mustache Mountain. This match sucked. It was rubbish. Absolute dog shit.
Hold on, let me tell you something, man. Hearing that DIY theme song brought back memories, man. It was good to hear that theme song again.
It was really good.
Gargano and Ciampa, man. I kind of feel bad that they never got to close their story, but I kind of like the way that they brought it back full circle, So it's good to see them, man. And Mustache Mountain, can't say enough good things about them. This is two really, really good tag teams. So I'm glad to see that they got to mix it up because that really is a dream match when you think about it. So it was good to see that it happened and it actually delivered. So Yeah. And let me just add this in real quick, dude. Trent Seven do not get the credit that he deserves. Like he is really good. Like that's my guy. Trent Seven is the man.
He's got himself in good shape as well. He's lost like a little bit of weight and toned up a little bit. Like he's still big and he's got that unique look and unique size, but he looks in like healthy, good shape. This is just about as good a match you could have with no build and no story before the match. To have a match of this quality, yeah, I just think it's incredible, and it says so much about these two teams, just how good they are.
Yeah. And one thing I did want to mention, so I believe it was before the match they had the promos with Grizzly Young Veterans and Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle.
Yeah,
Dude, the promos that Grizzly Young Veterans, I love. I've said this before. You know, I love Grizzly Young Veterans. That's like one of my favorite teams. Like the best part about their promos is when Zach Gibson is talking and James Drake is like mimicking like the exact same thing because he doesn't talk, but he always like Zach Gibson to be like Grizzly Young Veterans, and then you have James Drake on the side, literally saying the exact same. Like it is hilarious. And then Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle are great.
yeah,
So
they
yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Dusty Classic, and like I think they said the winners are challenging Undisputed Era for the tag
yeah,
titles at Takeover Portland. So hopefully, Sal, we get Grizzly Young Veterans taking the gold back to NXT UK. That'll be something.
yeah.
Or we
I'd
get
like to see the grizzled young vets stay in NXT.
or we get my prediction, sir. Mr. Peter Dunn turns on Matt Riddle and
Nah,
aligns himself with the Grizzly Young Vets. Let's
nah,
go.
that's not happening now. I don't think. I think they won't be able to resist the uh like the broser weights. I just don't think that WWE can resist because they've got over so quick. Um, and like they're really leaning into their to their kind of
The weed thing.
yeah, man, like much more than I thought they would. Um, so yeah, and it's working because it's not like like sometimes like Rob Van Dam when he used to do that sort of stuff in the day, it would seem like a bit cheesy. Like for some reason, like not all time, just sometimes it felt like it was a bit cheesy. Whereas
I don't think
this,
weed was like as widely
yeah,
accepted as it is
yeah,
now.
yeah. Whereas this is like, I don't know, Matt Riddle's just got this unique thing where
All right.
his character and the way he is, you'd think that he's not going to get over with the crowd, but whatever he does, people just love it and love him. And I thought these promos were amazing. I grizzled young vets must win though.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Like
It's going to be
honestly,
a
but
banger.
this tag team match, I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed this match. I enjoyed the exchanges, the interactions, the strikes. I enjoyed Champa Champa sort of not going complete good guy.
Yeah,
Like he was like still talking trash like a heel, making fun of Tyler Bates' height, etc. Stuff like that. And I think that's really good for the character of Champa because Champa's not a good guy. I don't know why
no.
people think Champa's a good guy. Champa just does what he wants. Like he just so happens to be on the good guy side right now, but he's not a good guy. He's
Do you
always
know?
been a bad guy, and
Yeah,
that's what I really like.
absolutely, man. And do you know what else I liked is after they won, Johnny's leaning on the ropes, facing the hard camera, and Champa just kind of just wanders behind him, and I was thinking, no, not again. Don't do it again. But like he knew what he was doing, just walking behind him, kind of circled around, and then came in for like a, just a chat or a hug or
Mm.
whatever. But I, he's
Do you
just he knew what he was doing just by like just walking behind him, just to catch the eye, kind of thing.
do
Very
you remember
clever.
when Johnny won the title at Takeover New York and Champa came out and people thought he was about to hit him with the crutch?
Yeah,
Like that was hilarious.
so
I
clever.
was like that was really good. But yeah, I completely agree with you saying, man. Like these, it was a real good match, and I'm glad they finally got to do it because like I feel like sometimes man WWE they kind of miss the boat like with the opportunity to do these type of matches, and I'm glad they finally did it. So you can just wipe away the whole. Oh, I wonder what would happen if these two teams went at it. They already did, so now you got it.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree with you. It is kind of like that. Like a like a dream match. It was real good, real good, and I would advise anyone to watch that match and go out of their way to watch it. It was excellent. Um, just before we get to the women's match, Dakota Kai's in the crowd and she's attacked by Tegan Knox. Um, it was
That's how you tell a story, brother.
Yeah, they're telling a real good story. Although that was one of my gripes, one of my few gripes from the Rumble show was they had to have Tegan Knox eliminate Dakota Kai if they were both going to be in the Rumble. They should have, she had to, or one of them had to uh, eliminate the other. Even if you had Dakota eliminate Tegan and kind of get that heel heat even more turned up. But to have them both in the Rumble and not be
Have them have
involved
an
in the
interaction.
elimination, yeah, that kind of was dumb. But there was a couple of decisions like that which I thought kind of hurt bits of it. But overall, it was good. Next up was the NXT Women's Championship match. Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm. I didn't like this.
You and I kind of agree, man. I feel like this match didn't really hit like I thought it was going to be. But
Yeah,
like I don't know what it was, man. Like I feel like this was I don't like it wasn't bad. Like it was just
no,
like
it
it was
was
just like
okay, wasn't it?
it was a match. Like that's what it was. Like and uh I feel like Rhea works a lot better with uh very other smaller women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like she can like toss around and do like the merry-go-round DDT, like Io Shirai, Sasha Banks. Like I think that's the type of uh people that Rhea Ripley works the best with. She can toss them around and do stuff like that, and I think it's real easy for her to navigate as a larger competitor as compared to the other ladies in the division.
yeah, I agree. I think there's just something these two just don't quite mix. And like technically, it wasn't bad. It wasn't
Yeah, it
terrible.
wasn't bad.
It just wasn't like
They
when I
didn't
heard
click.
about this match, I was just thought, yeah, this could be real good. And yeah, they just didn't quite click. Uh, Rhea Ripley won with the Riptide following a headbutt from Toni Storm, and then she missed a diving splash, but then Rhea hits the Riptide for the pin and the win.
Rhea Ripley damn sure getting these reactions though. That's for sure.
Yeah, she over.
Yeah.
I saw someone suggest that the winner of the Royal Rumble should challenge Rhea
Challenge
Ripley.
Rhea Ripley.
I
Yeah,
think it's
man.
a good shout. I could do that,
Yeah.
especially with
I'm down for
Shayna,
that.
because they made
I'm 100.
Shayna love
percent
story. Made Shayna look real strong in the Rumble. So you could go with what we said, which was Shayna and Becky. I don't really
No
want to
title.
see. I don't want to see. Well, no, you could do Charlotte versus Rhea, um, Shayna versus
I would be
Becky.
so into that, bro. Like I think if just imagine if Charlotte was like, the hell with this, I'm going to NXT and I'm going to get the
Yeah.
NXT Women's title back, bro. That would be, I'm down for that. Give me that.
How
Need it.
awesome would it be if on WrestleMania we had Becky versus Shayna, Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley,
And
and
Sasha versus Bailey.
Bailey versus Sasha, all three matches. That would be amazing because they would be trying to outdo each other. They would be trying to steal the show. That would be just incredible.
Side shirt says the Booker man, just in case y'all
I
couldn't see
always come up with the best ideas. Hashtag Booker.
it.
Booker! Um, we get a backstage video of Johnny Gargano being interviewed. Finn Balor attacks him. There was nothing really to it. However, Finn Balor and Tyler Bate
Oh yeah,
have
you
an
know that's happening on NXT. You know that's happening.
yeah, and Finn Balor says something like, "This is not your fight" or
Yeah,
something,
he
or
says
you're
that's
gonna
not your. He said the beef is not with you. The issue is not with you.
yeah.
Yeah, so
So
you know
they'll
that's
have a go.
happening.
That'll be
Oh
good
yeah,
as well.
for sure. That's the main event right there.
Yeah, god damn. Speaking of main events, Undisputed Era versus Imperium.
This was so good. This was so good. I really enjoyed this.
It
But
was
well,
very
oh,
good.
you good?
I was just going to say it was real good, and when you consider that very early on in the match, um,
Alexander
the
Wolf, yeah.
UE, yeah, they setting up like a double team move. I think it was Roddy and Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish kicks uh, Alexander Wolf
Oh yeah, he hit him,
square in
man.
the
Oh my
chin,
goodness, bro.
and he
He
was
knocked his
gone.
lights out. Like that thing connected. You know that didn't that remind you of the Liv Morgan thing?
He did, yeah.
With
It was very similar, wasn't it?
yeah, it's literally the exact same thing. Like he just caught the tip of the chin, and
Right on the
that bo-
button.
that boy went out immediately.
Oh yeah. But did you
Like,
see? You know when he went for the pin, he he like Bobby Fish moves his arm so it's not
mm,
under the rope, and
mm,
then realizes, his
he
arm
knocked
was
out.
there because he was
Yeah.
out, and he protects his head with his arm,
Mm,
and tells the ref, and then I don't know if it's him or if I assume it's him because he puts his arm under his head, um, but I don't know if it was him or one of the guys on the apron says to the ref, is he okay? Um,
mm.
but like Bobby realized the ref did a tremendous job, I thought. Um,
Yeah,
it was a
Drake Wars the
real,
man.
he really,
That's
really did a good job.
yeah, that's the head ref in NXT. He's the man. But you want to know what in a crazy way? So I really think this match kind of worked better with the 3-on-4 dynamic because I feel like when you have a lot of people in the match, it kind of get like a little, you know what I'm saying, a little clustery. But I feel like this really helped the match because it was able to tell in a weird way. It was able to make uh Imperium look like not underdogs, but like make them look like they got something to fight for because there's only three of them now. And I think that really helped the match and really got the crowd behind their team.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because even though they're bigger, um, Walter's
Much bigger.
massive.
And Bartel's like 6'6".
Yeah, they're all massive compared to the Undisputed Era. They still were able to book it as like a kind of underdog because they had the numbers and they put
Mm,
Walter through the table, and it was just great stuff all around. I was happy that they gave Bartel and Eichner
Fabian.
like a
Mm,
real. They made them look like stars, and I feel like sometimes they do get forgotten behind Walter because Walter is so
yeah.
talented, and he's
He's
so
more popular.
big, and yeah, he's like
Did you realize during the match, like when instead of the crowd chanting like Undisputed Era, Imperium, they were chanting Undisputed Era, Walter. They was
yeah,
like, and I kind of felt bad. I was like, damn, like well, Walter not the only person on the team, but that just shows you that he's like the
he's
most.
so over, Nito.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, that was that.
They've got to do more with him. Whether it's they put him on SmackDown, they put him on Raw, they put him on NXT US.
Should have been in the damn Rumble.
They, yeah, I would have loved to have seen some of those face-offs. Um, I do think this went a long way to repair the damage this is how they should have booked him at Survivor Series. Can you imagine if they booked him as this monster in Survivor Series? How over he would have been.
Mm. And
I do believe.
he said during the interview that he was like, I was very disappointed with that, and I didn't care. Like, he outright said that straight up in the interview that he was not happy with how that
Good,
ended.
good, good.
And
Because
ain't nobody gonna say nothing to Walter because he looked like he'd slap the hell out of somebody in real life. So you
yeah, he does.
know,
But the other thing is as well is I think you can find that certain guys can say stuff now because you know if they fire them, they can go and make big money with AEW. And the
mm,
thing is, if if it's a big enough name like a Walter, they can go in straight into AEW and they can have a big run because they've come from WWE as well. Um, so I think WWE is not as quick on the kind of
the
trigger
band
when
hammer,
when
yeah,
people are like speaking out. And the fact is, what he said is not untrue. If
it's really
he
not.
was he was disappointed, and the way they booked him was rubbish.
Yeah, but just from this match side, you can we please talk about Kyle O'Reilly selling, please,
He's
man.
so
Like
good.
that dude, like
Such,
the way that he sold Walter's chop was like, most people do like the flop, like they fly all over the place. Like when he got chopped by Walter, he looked like he got stopped. Like literally, like as he was moving, he got stopped and he fell straight over. He got somebody punched him in the back of his head and he just fell straight down. That's the type of stuff I like. Like it's always cool when
Yeah.
they flip flop and fly when they get hit by Walter and they fly back and do a moonsault. Like, but I really like the way Kyle O'Reilly sold the challenge, man. And I know that hurt. I know that hurt.
Oh
I know it
yeah.
hurt.
You know those chops hurt in. I got to say, I think Kyle O'Reilly selling generally is like all-time great.
Mm.
He's so good. Yeah,
Let me ask you this real quick.
he's
So,
one of my
as far as Kyle,
faves.
as far as Kyle O'Reilly goes, I know a lot of people say that they think he should get a singles run, but do you think he would really be as effective as a singles wrestler opposed to being with the Undisputed Era? Like, I think people will want to see him just because the work that he's doing, they want to see him rewarded, but I don't think it would turn out the way people think it would turn out if
Yeah,
he were to go on his own.
look, with Kyle O'Reilly, I'll be honest, I've never really enjoyed his single stuff,
Mm,
but his tag team stuff, particularly with Undisputed Era, I've been real into. I think his
mm,
work's been outstanding. I would keep him. I wouldn't split um, Undisputed Era at all. I wouldn't split them.
right.
Um,
Keep him like New Day.
yeah,
Don't split him.
I I do think eventually they probably will split them, but I think they'll split them because they'll put Adam Cole as the kind of single star.
Lord
Um,
protect the internet if they do.
yeah, but you could put him as the single star and take him to Raw or SmackDown or whatever you want to do, but you don't have to split them up, do you? You could just take him and they could just part ways and say, well, I'm going to go and do my thing, you do your thing, kind of thing. But it just
Mm.
wouldn't be the same, would it? It just wouldn't be the same having like three of them on NXT and Adam Cole on like Raw or SmackDown. It just wouldn't
Yeah,
feel right.
yeah, I definitely think those one of those groups you gotta keep them together for the rest of their time in WWE because like they click with each other and now it'll feel weird if they're not with each other. Like it just will feel weird. Like you like the thing with WWE is like sometimes they don't realize like bro, you can have people go on singles runs and still be a part of the group. They don't have to break up to go chase a singles title. Like Kofi Kingston did it and it worked. I'm pretty sure you can do it with Undisputed Era if they ever get called up to the main roster. I mean, not the main roster, but Raw SmackDown, which I do think will happen eventually. Like they can't stay in NXT forever. Like
I'd like to
like
see them have a run on SmackDown
I would too. Hell yeah, give me
or
that.
even actually, I think they probably a better fit for Raw. The way the Raw is kind of like
Raw has been really
focusing
good.
on like young talent and
Yeah.
new and making new stars.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think like you could do a nice little feud with the OC to start off. That could be cool.
Seth Rollins' group.
Yeah, man. Oh, that'd be so good, wouldn't it? If like Rollins' group are like dominating and they're saying, we've beaten everyone, blah 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 blah, and then shock the system hits the Monday after Mania.
Yeah, man. Some
The
good stuff. Oh
pop,
yeah,
the
just
pop.
just to get your prediction, and of course we're gonna find out what's gonna happen. But they announced that Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy are defending the tag titles tonight against Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens. So who you think's gonna win that match?
Yeah, I think
Retain.
they will take. Um,
Okay.
someone, who was that? I can't remember. Someone said to me the other day they think that Samoa Joe's going to turn and join the Seth Rollins' group,
Oh
and
God, no.
he's going to be like Seth's kind of
Right hand man.
yeah, like his lieutenant sort of thing. Um,
I don't want that. I
I
kind of
think
like Joe, what he's doing now.
yeah, I do too.
I like Joe now, man.
I like it. Um, on Wednesday they're going to announce who's facing Adam Cole for the NXT Takeover Portland. Who would you do if you were booking it?
I think they gonna go some crazy stuff. Like I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Like I think it's gonna be wild. I don't think it's gonna be something like a one-on-one match. I think they probably gonna do like a Hell in a Cell or something like that. Like I really think they about to go all out for this because I just can't see them coming out and be like, oh yeah, Ciampa's gonna face Adam Cole or Balor's gonna
Hmm.
Balor's in a match, but I can't see them just being like, oh you're going to have a regular one-on-one singles match. I feel like they're gonna announce something crazy and it's gonna be fun and it's gonna be exciting as hell. And Adam Cole's probably gonna lose. Like what I think is gonna happen is I think Undisputed Era is about to crumble, and it already started with Roddy when he lost the title to Keith Lee. Now I definitely think Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly are about to lose the tag titles at Takeover, and I think Adam
Yep.
Cole's probably gonna lose it at WrestleMania weekend, and then that's how they get called up. They just
Yeah.
completely fumble. They like it is nothing else for us to do here. We just lost all our titles.
Raw
We're going to
after
Raw,
Mania.
SmackDown. Yep,
Raw
and
after Mania versus Seth Rollins' group.
that's how
Bang.
we get uh yeah, that's how we get that. But the thing, dude, like when they leave, bro, it's gonna be such a big hole in the NXT, man, because you can feel so much TV time with Undisputed Era. Like
Yeah.
that's going it's gonna hurt NXT, man. Like I really think it's gonna hurt NXT, but I think it'll be really good to send them to Raw or SmackDown and just see how they do. You know what I'm saying? Preferably, please, Raw, please.
Yeah, you can
Send them to Raw.
imagine Paul Heyman will do a good job with Adam
Like,
Cole.
he gonna have a blast with them. Yeah,
Adam Cole's so talented on the mic, and I think that goes a long way, doesn't it?
yeah.
Is that a
Shall we?
NXT Portland? That's a standalone NXT, isn't it? It's not
Oh yeah,
before.
yeah. No, yeah, it's a standalone show.
Before, yeah. See, if it was by the Elimination Chamber, I would say maybe they do like an NXT Elimination Chamber. It could be quite interesting.
They probably still could do that. Shit, they got the Saudi show the week before. They gonna need some matches to fill the card.
Yeah, that's very true. I think they should go with Walter versus Adam Cole at NXT Portland.
Oh, you going to
Because
big guns.
I thought they
Double title?
was title for title. Yeah.
Oh
Sod it.
boy. Okay.
I
That's
would.
a good idea.
I'd even think about putting it on Walter, even though I prefer the thought of Adam Cole losing it WrestleMania weekend.
That that that
However,
that, that that's that country bias right there. You root for the UK. Well, Walter's not even from the UK. He's from Austria.
yeah,
Yeah.
I ain't Austrian, man. I ain't Austrian. However, I do quite like the idea of Adam Cole losing to Walter at NXT Portland for this reason. If um if Adam Cole loses at WrestleMania weekend after the Undisputed Era have already lost the tag titles and the US title, or the North American title, everyone's going to kind of guess and know that they're going to go up to Raw. Whereas if they lose the titles at Portland, they can build a storyline going into WrestleMania about them trying to get it back and blah, 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 blah. And people won't be as sure because they can build it in a way where it seems like they're going to keep going for it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if they lose it all at WrestleMania weekend, everyone's going to be, no, they're coming, and then they're going to be
Like I said
furious.
earlier, I think it'd be good if they lose the titles gradually. Like take over Portland, that's the
Yeah,
first. I mean, that's the second crumble, and then WrestleMania weekend, that's the last and final straw where Adam Cole loses it, and they just
yeah. Adam
fumble as
Cole's
a
got to
group.
be the last, doesn't he?
Yeah, he got to be the last one.
The
Got to be
last
the last
domino
one.
to fall.
Yeah, and then yeah, that's gonna be it right there for Undisputed Era. And then maybe you give him like one little last run in NXT, and then send them up after SummerSlam. Just because I mean I feel like just abruptly losing them is gonna hurt a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, their women's division though is so strong.
Oh, dude,
They could
oh my
legit bring
goodness,
in like 3 or 4 of the women they've got waiting and just put on some banger women's matches.
and like you said earlier, like how you proposed the idea, you lose Undisputed Era, you gain Charlotte Flair,
Yeah,
like
yeah, you could
that
do it as
that
a trade, couldn't you? Between
yeah,
like
that's
storyline
a good
wise,
trade. That's a decent trade right there because
damn straight.
anybody who says Charlotte Flair is not an attention grabber, you're a lie. She is very much an attention grabber.
But can
Very.
you imagine that NXT division, women's division that it is now, plus Charlotte Flair?
Oh, the flip. I'm telling you, bro. That's a solid show, right? That's a solid division right there, man. A solid division.
Gonna have some bangers.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Shall we get to the
Let's get to the Royal
Oh,
Rumble, sir.
real quick. So you can edit this, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
edit this out because I gotta go to the bathroom real quick.
yeah, man.
All right, cool. Man, I'll be right back.
Yeah, man. Cool. 55, 55, 55. I just pause it. He seems to listen to our shows, and he listens to because he always comments on like the wrestling shows and the MMA shows. But
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
He's a supporter, so shout out
Yeah,
to you,
man.
JD. ADD. Shout out to you, brother.
That's it, my man. The chemistry is real. So moving on to the rumble of royalty. Pre-show,
40,000 people, sir, in the Minute Maid Park in Houston,
40,000
Texas.
people. 40,000 people. Was that that show? Is that like an open air stadium?
The open, you mean like the
Like,
top open?
yeah.
I think you can open and close it,
All
but
right,
it's
it's one of those
closed.
cool ones, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, gotcha.
that's what the World Series was. Well, half of the World Series
I
was in
see.
at the yeah. Yeah, man, that's a big ass stadium. Like you want to know what I'm into? I'm interested with it because usually they announce the next location,
They
right
didn't though,
after.
did they?
So yeah, they didn't like usually like I like when I'm searching for news like after big pay-per-views they always announce the next city that's gonna host, you know what I'm saying, host that event. So I'm interested. Like let me get your pick before we before we get into the show. Where do you think WrestleMania is gonna be at next year?
Oh,
You banking on Vegas? I think that's what a
yeah,
lot of people banking on.
Vegas, Miami.
Dude, let me tell you something. If they put WrestleMania in Vegas, I'm assuming AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view is gonna be the following month. There's gonna be so much content to get out there, like interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Because then you have WrestleMania week in Vegas, and then but 4 weeks later you have Double or Nothing in Vegas. Yeah, you might as well. Oh my
live there.
goodness. Yeah, yeah. For
Just move there
the
for a
month.
month.
Yeah, you might as well. It's too much content to miss out on, man. Hell yeah, they do WrestleMania in Vegas. Your boy's gonna be out there. Definitely.
Gonna get your ass out there.
Definitely gonna try to do some interviews out there.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
man.
sure. So the pre-show first match: Shorty G versus Sheamus. I've got nothing
I
to
thought
say about this match.
I think it went a little bit too long. But I can understand like from the other side, like I'm pretty sure Sheamus didn't want to go out there and just have some like rinky dink quick match. Like his first
Yeah,
match back, I'm pretty sure he wanted to get out there and actually wrestle a little bit and they let him do that. So I mean, and he won anyway. So I mean, I was like, yeah, whatever. I really wasn't paying attention to it, but
yeah.
you know,
It's one of those in the background, kind of playing on my phone, just doing some bits and pieces, doing a bit of editing, and wasn't really paying attention. Um, and unfortunately, really, because both these guys deserve so much better. Both these guys do. They're both real talented. Um, it just sucks.
yeah.
But it was pretty good for Sheamus as well. I didn't think we'd ever see him wrestle again. Um,
But
and it
that ain't
feel
gonna be the first time we're gonna be saying that, brothers, doing this
what
review.
it feels like. Yeah, it feels like though that they have already wasted. Like Sheamus is coming back. Like no one thought he was gonna be able to wrestle again, and then now he's on the pre-show fighting Shorty G in a nothing match already. Like it's frustrating because I feel like they could do stuff with him, and I've never been a massive Sheamus guy anyway. Like I've never been a huge fan.
You
I
just got
like
respect for him.
yeah, and I just think they could do so much better with some of these guys.
For real, bro. Like the only thing left for Sheamus to do is to win the Intercontinental title. Like honestly, like
Yeah,
he's literally done everything. Like that's the only thing he hasn't done. Won the Royal
give
Rumble,
me
won Money in the Bank, World Title, Tag Title, U.S. Title. He just ain't won the Intercontinental title, King of the Ring. Like, yeah,
yeah, give me Nakamura versus Sheamus. That would be interesting.
yeah. That'd
That
be
would
cool.
be like something different, and I could like get into that. It would be some nice hard strikes, the strong style. Also on the pre-show was the United States Championship. Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo with some beautiful music, which Andrew loves.
Yeah, man. I mean, this match kind of felt like every other match or every other time they cross paths. I guess like it was like it was good, but it was like kind of just waiting for the main show to start. Kind of one of those things.
Yeah,
Like
just felt like a Raw match,
yeah, yeah.
just like a TV match. And again, Andrade should be where like Drew McIntyre and people are. That's where Andrade should be, like that high up on the card. I don't mean he should be winning the Rumble. I mean he should be like upper card, main event slots, number one contender slots, this
Mm,
type of thing. I really hope he's in the Money in the Bank match this year. I really, really think that he could do some great stuff with that.
mm,
Who would you pick from the? Who would your Money in the Bank be? Contenders be this year if you assume that you have to have two from Raw, two from SmackDown, and two from NXT?
mm. For the men's Money in the Bank, I'm gonna say who would really be able to use the Money in the Bank. I, you can't go wrong with Andrade. Honestly, I would kind of loan that to him. For on the women's side, I would probably because I'm assuming that Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss is going to happen at WrestleMania. So the only person I can see really coming in and just completely just ruining that is Alexa Bliss and her getting it again. I can see that. I can really see that happening. Honestly, for NXT, I don't really know. I really can't see them putting their money in the bank on the NXT talent. Like I can't see it.
Yeah, I think
Not
they'll
yet.
do. I think each match will have six contenders, and I think it'll be two from each brand for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Money in
but
the Bank.
yeah, I can see
You
them being
just
in a
don't think
match, but
they'll win it.
yeah, I can't see them winning. I can't see. I feel like Money in the Bank that's like a Raw SmackDown thing. Like
Yeah,
NXT,
maybe,
yeah.
maybe. I do. My Money in the Bank match this year for the men would be Aleister Black, Andrade, uh, and then I'd have who would I have? Adam Cole, assuming he's lost the title. Um, Adam Cole and one more Punishment Martinez, who I can never remember his name. And then from
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest. And then from SmackDown, I'd have uh, Mustafa Ali and Biggie. They would be my six for the men's Money in the Bank this year. I like it, but
And so what's yeah, I thought the Andrade and Humberto match that was like a
yeah,
good regular match, but it was nothing special. I kind of was just waiting for the
the
main show
real
to begin,
stuff.
which kicked off, sir, with Roman Reigns and King Corbin in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And I did not think it was bad at all. I actually liked it, honestly.
Yeah, I was surprised they managed to get me to care about this match because before it, I really didn't. Um,
Because you've seen it 80 times.
yeah, and like my thing is like respect Baron Corbin, and I think he's capable of doing some real good stuff, but they book him real bad. Um, Much the same as Roman Reigns, ironically. Like I've said many times on these shows, um, I really like Roman Reigns. I kind of like his like you think he's got a good look. I think he's really talented. I think he's really improved in the ring and on the mic and all that stuff. I think he seems like a real cool guy. I just find it very difficult to like emotionally invest in his feuds. This didn't help because it was just beaten into the ground. These two. Yeah, but this match was very good. I thought it was real good. They went all over the place. Corbin got dumped in the
Water potty. Yeah.
porta potty and stuff, and it was quite, it's cute. And I think did they finish on top of the dugout, which
Yep.
that's like a cool visual to open the show, isn't it? That was real good. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a good match, man. I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed it way more, than what I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that they did a real good job, man. So kudos to Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns. Hopefully, sir, we do not get a repeat of this on Friday because I'm not trying to see this. I think this should be the end of this. Like I think both of them need to transition. It is time for them to stop feuding for now. And hopefully they don't get the idea to run it back at the Saudi show because I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to get Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin in a Saudi street fight.
Oh, God, no. I don't want to see this shit anymore. Please don't give it to me again. But I agree. I think they're going to give it again at the Saudi show. Next up, we had a little promo with Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe, but it's just like building to the Rumble, really. Same with Sonya and Mandy. Like you just had these kind of little promos. Then we had the Women's Royal Rumble match. We won't go through each elimination and each thing. We'll just kind of talk about what stood out and people coming in and whatnot. You had Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair started. I thought they made
let me
Bianca
wait, just
look
real
good.
quick. Dude, she looked like a star. Like they made her in one night. Not even one night, a few hours. She was made. She was made. And she looked the part. Like she looked like she belonged with everybody else on the main roster. I keep saying main. I'm so used to saying main roster, but she really looked like she belonged and she stood out. And I feel like it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Vince probably got a glimpse of that. Boy, it ain't gonna be long before Unfortunately, it might not be
feud
long.
between her and Sasha Banks, I think, could be money.
Yeah.
Her with Charlotte, her with Becky. There's just
Her
money,
with
money,
anybody.
money, money, money. She is,
Yeah.
you're right. She's a superstar. Mighty Molly was a nice surprise.
That was funny.
I really like Nikki Cross as well. Like her and Alexa Bliss, I really, really enjoy their kind of like best friends gimmick. It is what it is. Like,
Who was after Nikki Cross?
Sorry, mate.
I said, who was after Nikki Cross?
Nikki Cross, Lana was after that. She kind of
Okay.
came in with the microphone. Yeah.
And then she got eliminated by Liv Morgan, which I think was good. I think that was a good call since they facing each other on Raw. That was a smart
Wouldn't you
move.
have liked to have seen Liv have because since Liv's come back, she hasn't really like won matches or like done anything like to make her look imposing or like dominating in the ring or something like that. So like I felt like when she got rid of Lana, they could have given her like a 5 or 10 minute just eliminate a couple of people.
I mean, at first I was thinking that, but I was like, I mean, what would be the point of that? Like, I mean, I was thinking that at first, like, why y'all eliminated so quick? But since she's come back, her purpose has not been anything but to ruin Lana. Like, that's literally her whole purpose. And she did that. She took away her opportunity. And I think that's the whole point with Liv Morgan now. And I think until they fully transition her into the division as a full-time in-ring performer, I think it's like her main focus is just ruining everything that Lana does. And I think it worked well. Like when you look at the story of it, Liv Morgan doesn't give a damn about the Royal Rumble. She came out there with the intent of making sure that Lana does not win the Royal Rumble. And she was still competing, but Lana the one that took her out. So it's like she kind of took away Liv Morgan's chance. And it was like once Liv Morgan got rid of Lana, it was like, okay, maybe now I can focus on actually winning the match. And Lana was like, no, ma'am, it ain't happening. So yeah, and I think it's good for what it is. So I mean, we're gonna get our chance to see Liv Morgan tonight wrestle Lana 1-on-1. So hopefully it's not like a big gimmick thing and they actually get to wrestle. Because I don't think Lana's that bad. I really don't think she's
No,
that
I
bad
think
at
she's
all.
improved a lot. She her
That
kicks are quite nice. I like them.
she's improved vastly. So I'm excited to see what they do. So who's after Miss Liv?
I've just sorry, mate. My page is just frozen up. So you had Bliss goes to eliminate Mandy Rose. So Mandy Rose came in after Cross. Sorry, I've skipped forward there. I do apologise, sir. So after Lana was Liv, and then you had Mercedes Martinez. So Lana was 5, Mercedes Martinez was 6, Liv Morgan was 7. Sorry, I got them wrong, bro. Yeah, it was. There was a good little spot where I think it was Alexa tried to eliminate Mandy, and Dozovic caught.
That was great.
It was a
That
nice
was
spot.
great.
I didn't expect it either. I just got a load of subscribers on. Sorry, I just had like 3 notifications about new
Nice.
subscribers to YouTube. Thank you, people. I appreciate you much. Spread the word. Ace Podcast Nation is going to take over the world. We're taking over, baby. Yeah. I'm getting tired now, so I'm like hyperactive.
Yeah, but what's the name? But Otis, they
Yeah,
need to do like a dinner scene or something with Otis and Mandy. Like they are great together. Otis is the man, and I really like the way that they. Yeah, I ultimately think this is gonna be the reason why Mandy and Sonya end up breaking up because
yeah,
Sonya didn't get saved, Mandy got saved, but they all got eliminated eventually. So it's like, but I'm not a big fan of them trying to make Sonya the bad guy. Like I don't think Sonya's the bad guy. I don't think she fits that. I feel like she's a baby. I feel like Sonya's a baby face for real. Like I really do.
yeah,
I'm
definitely.
not a
Out of the
I'm
two of
not
them,
a
she's by far the kind of baby face out of the two of them.
yeah. So
I
yeah.
don't know why they don't need to split. Right. My point is, if they're not going to push either one into a title picture, they don't need to split up. If you're going to push Sonya, for instance, into a title picture after Mania, then all right, break them up, feud at Mania, and then push Sonya into the title picture after Mania. If they're
mm,
not going to break up, if neither one of them is going to go for a title, keep them together, or keep them together but as single stars, and they can kind of do their own thing. Not everything has to be a feud to finish. And I'm not entirely sure that I'm ready for them to, or they need to feud with each other at the moment. Like Mandy's doing this thing with Otis, whatever. I'm not really sure where it's going to lead, but it's entertaining. So, it is what it is, I guess. What would you do with Sonya and Mandy? Obviously, we've talked about Sonya Deville's potential as a singles competitor a lot, but like, what would you do with them now? The two of them.
I feel like both of them. I headed to that WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal on the pre-show. That's definitely what I think is about to happen with both of them, honestly. And they're gonna probably do some stuff with Otis. That's honestly what I can see for now. But what I wouldn't mind seeing is them winning the tag titles at Elimination Chamber. Definitely wouldn't mind seeing that. Make that happen.
Yeah,
And
that'd be
bring
cool.
back the goddamn Iconics, please. Jesus Christ, where are they at? Bring back the Iconics.
Yeah, I'd like to see some women's tag matches. The Iconics, Fire and
Who has the
Desire,
titles?
Kairi Sane and
You're saying an
Oscar.
Oscar. Oh yeah, okay.
And Kairi Sane was injured, wasn't she, as well, which I think
Yeah.
didn't help. And part of me thinks they should take the titles off Oscar and Kairi Sane now, so they can have a proper feud.
Have them lose it at Elimination Chamber. That's the perfect spot.
Yeah,
Do the women's chamber.
well, in the tag,
Yeah,
like a tag team chamber.
yeah, like how they did last year
That
in
was
the
good
tag
actually.
team
When
chamber.
I enjoyed that gimmick.
And then I think it'd be time to get the titles to Mandy and Sonya, and that's a way to extend to keep them together instead of
Yeah.
just forcing the breakup. So after Sonya, after Sonya and Mandy got eliminated, who came in
So you
next?
had Sonya as number 10. Everybody's in the ring. They continue brawling. Cross avoids elimination. Deville, Mandy Rose start. So Candice LeRae came in at some point. I must have missed where she came in. Sorry, mate. It's where I'm skipping through it and I'm missing bits, but I'm
That's
trying.
fine.
So LeRae, Rose, and Deville are working together against Mercedes Martinez. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville eliminate Martinez from the match. Kairi Sane is next. She kind of whoops some ass on everybody. Tornado DDT on Belair. Number 12 is Mia Yim. And Kairi Sane hits the insane elbow on Candice LeRae. There's a bunch of competitors in this match. Who's next? Dana Brooke. Thought she had a nice little, like, not a massive, huge run of eliminations and stuff, but I thought she had like a nice little shine for a brief moment. Not like some, which I'm gonna get to in just a second. So Dana Brooke was number 13. Number 14 was Tamina. She comes in, super kicks everyone. Belair then back body dropped the charging Tamina out the ring for another elimination. Number 15, Dakota Kai. Now, this was where I started to get a bit irritated, not by the quality of the match or anything like that, but just by some of the decisions made by the office or like the creative or the booker, whichever way you want to say it. Like I mentioned earlier, I felt like Dakota Kai and Tegan Knox, they had to take each other out. Otherwise, don't have them in there. If you're going to have both of them in there, they have to clash. They just think it's pointless otherwise. And then you have, after Dakota Kai, Chelsea Green comes down with the new gimmick with her manager.
Good to see her.
Great to see her. So talented. So happy to see her. And she gets flipping dumped out almost straight away. And it's like, come on, man. What, you can't give these, like, some of these people just like a 5 or 10 minute, 2 eliminations, make them look a little bit strong or like a little bit, like, I don't know, man. It just frustrates me because Chelsea Green's got such a massive upside. Like, she could be a superstar as well. And I just feel as if they're not quite clicking with her from a writing point of view. It's almost like they don't know what they want to do with her.
I feel like they don't even know what brand they wanted to be on.
Yeah, they seem to be like.
She can fit in either one.
She can go anywhere though, shouldn't she? She is,
she stands out, bro. She has size. She stands out.
Yeah, I think SmackDown would be a good fit. I feel like
SmackDown. No. Keep him away from SmackDown. Keep him more Raw, because I just feel like Raw is having so much better TV than SmackDown lately. I feel like SmackDown just kind of like floating a little bit.
But do you feel like SmackDown needs some women?
I mean,
I just feel like it's constantly Lacey, Sasha, Bayley, and then they bring out Dana Brooke for a tag match.
My only worry about that is like I don't think that main nobody is really getting focused on outside of Sasha, Bayley, and Lacey. I feel like that's the main thing, and everybody else kind of like just fits in where they fit in around that. Yeah, I feel like Chelsea just gonna get lumped into that, but I feel like if she goes to Raw, she'd be able to mix it up a little bit more. And I feel like Raw needs more of the female competitors, because I feel like they only have like 6 people in that division, so they definitely need more names, more baddies, and I feel like Chelsea Green would be a great addition to that. Also, you might as well just lump in Deonna Purrazzo just for the sake of it, just to add more names to the division.
Right, Chelsea Green and Deonna would be a good tag team. I don't know why they stopped doing that.
Yeah. So who was after Chelsea?
So after Chelsea, you had Naomi.
Great to see her back.
Yeah,
Great to see her back. Great to see her back. I'm glad to see Naomi back. I don't know how she did that little spot in the Rumble where she didn't fall off the barricade. Like, you got to have insane balance to be able to pull that off. So Naomi back at it again. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be on SmackDown now because her husband's on SmackDown, so it's gonna be good to see her back.
Yeah,
I hope she challenges for the title.
I cannot imagine that they keep husband and wife on separate brands. That would be like some straight up bullshit. You got Charlotte, Beth Phoenix comes in, gets busted,
Man,
open.
Beth Phoenix is a trooper. She's a trooper.
Yeah, she was busted up real good. Tony Storm comes in. She got a nice popski.
Yeah, a popski.
Yeah. They kind of all go battling then, and then Belair goes over the top rope. Flair trips her up to knock her to the area of the floor for elimination number 21. 20.
It's a real good sign that the crowd was disappointed that Bianca Belair got eliminated. That was a real good sign.
Well, they made her in this match. I felt like they made people care about her because they made her look like the real deal. And I think how these people are portrayed by the creative and the bookers, that's how the crowd views them.
Gonna react, yeah.
So they've gotta they gotta do that. They've gotta write stories and write TV to portray these people as stars if they want them to be stars. And they should want all of them to be stars from the lowest point on the card to the highest point. You know what I mean? Even you should even want your basic crappy comedy character who does nothing but get embarrassed. You should still want them to be a star. You should just want them to be a star in a different way. So Kelly comes out.
Nice pop.
Good pop ski again. Kelly also head scissors takedown on Tony Storm. 22 is Sarah Logan. She immediately goes after Charlotte Flair because they've been feuding on TV. Natalya comes out and she, for the 25th year in a row, forms the Divas of Doom and then turn on each other. I've never seen that before. Same shit every year. Like they form their alliance and then one of them turns on the other a few minutes later, and it's like, come on, could we do something different? But
I like it though.
Yeah, I like both women. It's just it's a little predictable. 24 is Xia Li.
It was good to see her.
Yeah, she's been in the last couple, haven't she? Last couple of Rumbles. Zelina Vega. Now this is a strange one for me. I really like Zelina Vega, but are you telling me there's not like an active wrestler who could have had this slot? I don't know who off the top of my head, but she's a manager, you know.
I would put. I mean, she's still a wrestler. She just doesn't wrestle.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like for I would have. If anybody was gonna be in this match, I probably would have. I gotta feel like most of the people who I really would have said were in the match. Like you had Shotzi Blackheart, Mia Yim. You could have threw Kaylee Ray in there.
Yeah, that would have been good. Been a nice touch. Zelina Vega comes in, yeah. So what else we got? 26, Shotzi Blackheart. That was good. She got another one, another NXT girl who got a nice pop ski. And I think it's interesting that the NXT women, they all got like a good to decent pop when they came out, which goes to show, I think, that the fact they're on USA now is making a difference to people's recognition of them. Because, like, obviously, I know, like, Shayna and Rhea and people like that were on Survivor Series, whereas Shotzi wasn't. The only way people would know her is from the Indies or from USA the last couple of weeks. She didn't get a ginormous pop by any, I'm not saying she had, like, the level of pop when Brock got eliminated, but she had a decent, it wasn't crickets. 27 is Carmella. 28 is Tegan Knox, but Dakota Kai's already been eliminated, so it's like, oh. 29, Santina Marella.
Could have completely done without this.
Yeah,
Completely done without this.
I'd
Did not need to see that.
rather have seen, who could we put in? I don't know, anyone, literally anyone. Stephanie McMahon. I would rather have seen Stephanie than this. It's just stupid.
Yeah,
Dumb,
man.
dumb, dumb, dumb. He goes for the Cobra. Santino eliminates herself from the match because she doesn't want to mix it up with the Divas of Doom. The last four are Shayna Baszler, Charlotte Flair, and the Divas of Doom. What did you think when you saw this final four? Did you think Charlotte was winning, or
Definitely thought Charlotte was winning. Definitely. I mean, I didn't really have a problem. Like when I saw the final four, I was like, you might as well go ahead and do something because I feel like people kind of preconceived judge like what was going to happen. I don't think what everybody thinks is going to happen is going to happen. Like everybody probably thinks, oh, she's probably going to challenge Becky Lynch. I don't think she's coming out to Becky Lynch. I think she's going to go back to NXT, challenge Rhea Ripley for the title, and that's going to be some mainstream publicity for NXT because Charlotte Flair is a superstar, as we all know. I've gotten over it. I mean, I can see why people don't like her. I mean,
yeah?
I was kind of one of those, like her character, I should say. I was one of those people that did not agree, but I mean, can't deny that the lady is a star, sir. So why not put some more hype behind her and have her go to NXT and challenge Rhea Ripley? Have no issue with that at all. That is what is going to happen.
She is a very talented young lady. I kind of figured that she was going to win. However, the way they put Shayna over as she came in, I did wonder whether they were going to go down the route that we had said in the last show where we were previewing it a bit. Because I did think Shayna versus Becky, with Shayna winning the Rumble, would have been a sweet deal. So yeah, Charlotte ends up winning the Rumble. What did you think of the finish where she got Shayna out? Did you think that was well done, or do you think they could have done it slightly different? Or
I think it was good. I mean, just a way to get you know. I mean, I really didn't have a problem with it because I figured Charlotte was going to win the match. But I was like, you might as well go ahead and do it however you do it and set up a way for to possibly set up something else with Shayna down the line, and that could be Charlotte's roadblock to WrestleMania is getting past Shayna and stuff like that. So yeah, I really didn't have a problem with it, honestly. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I had an issue with it. I didn't like once Charlotte when I was like, oh, maybe they. So I'm pretty sure they don't want to run back the Becky thing or whatever like that. Like that's repetitive. So it's
yeah,
like,
it's
what's the
weird
point?
now. I feel like everyone assumes that she's going to challenge Becky, but
Mm.
I don't. I don't see them going back to that so soon. Like I might be wrong. I just don't see it. I I could see her going against Bailey. I could see her going against Rhea Ripley. I could see her going against Sasha if Sasha somehow screwed over Bailey at Elimination Chamber or something. But I cannot really see her going back to the Becky feuds this early. Okay, next up is the Women's SmackDown Championship, which was Bailey versus Lacey Evans. You feeling this match, my friend?
It kind of felt like the Worlds Collide match with Tony Storm and Rhea Ripley. It kind of was just it happened. I
There.
mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't it wasn't all that. It was a good match for what it was, and they tried to tell their story and they went out there. I just think it was bad positioning because the crowd was kind of into the women's Royal Rumble. The crowd was really into the women's Royal Rumble match, so it was hard for them to come out and go up against that and to follow that. So I mean, they tried. I was kind of surprised. I was really surprised that Bailey returned. I mean, Bailey retained. My bad.
I figured, yeah, I figured she was going to retain, but I was wondering whether she might dropped the title. But I'm glad she kept it because I feel like her as the champion is the right thing for now. Whether that's going to be Charlotte or Sasha or someone. Obviously, Sasha wasn't in the Rumble, which got people talking. But I know like a few people who I trust have said that she's injured. So I guess we'll have to wait and see the severity of said injury. Here we go. The next match is the only match that matters, really, isn't it? It's the big one, the Universal Title strap match. The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan. Did
They
Daniel
cut off the
Bryan?
red lights.
Yeah, that was the first thing, which was good. Um, did Daniel Bryan get an excellent match out of the Fiend?
I wouldn't use the word excellent, but I would say it was a really good match. I think that was probably one of the better matches that I've seen the Fiend have. I never really got the whole thing of him having these long, drawn out matches,
No,
but I feel like Daniel Bryan really got the best of him, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do in that match, and he told a real good story. He made the crowd believe, which is always good. I think that is something that's real hard to do with the Fiend character is make people believe that the Fiend's going to lose. But Daniel Bryan had a couple of moments during that match where you really thought he was about to pull it off. So shout out to Daniel Bryan for being the man.
and it's the second time he's done it because before the Fiend, before Bray Wyatt feud had that Miz feud in the middle, you go back a couple of pay-per-views, the Fiend versus Bray Wyatt. Daniel Bryan took him to a good match there as well, and he made you believe that he's going to do it, he's going to do it, he's going to do it. No, he didn't. The Fiend just choked him out, and but yeah, I don't get the whole obsession they've got with trying to get the Fiend to have these big, long, drawn-out matches. I actually thought this one was very good, and I really enjoyed it. But as a rule, generally, like the Finn Balor match he had when he in his first match, I thought that was the perfect length and like perfect balance of aggression and like squash, if that makes sense. But
Mm.
he beat him down brutally, looked impressive, was really aggressive, but didn't completely destroy Finn to the point where he could never come back, kind of thing. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It was like the right balance and it was the right length. Whereas since then, they've tried to do these long cage matches with Seth and The Miz and all these different things. Like the thing which is getting the Fiend over is his character. And I feel like shorter, more aggressive matches are what the Fiend will do better with, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm interested to see what happens next. So that's gonna be cool. See what they do with the Fiend now. See what they do with Daniel Bryan now. I'm very interested to see what they do with Daniel Bryan now because it's gonna be interesting. Buddy coming off of two. Well, not two losses. Well, yeah, two losses against the Fiend. Right? He lost to the Fiend twice, right?
yep.
TLC, and then he lost to him at the Royal Rumble. So I'm very interested to see what they do with Daniel Bryan. What he's gonna be able to at WrestleMania. Maybe they'll do the 3-way with Roman, the Fiend, and Bryan for the Universal title, and then that's how they get the title off of the Fiend. Now I have to get pinned, so
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting, man.
I think they'll probably go with that triple threat. It gives them an out to get the title off him if they want. Like I've said to you many times, I really want Bray Wyatt to pick up the win at WrestleMania. I think he deserves it. Just to get a win at WrestleMania. But I think that Roman Reigns is getting that WrestleMania shot where the cameras go off air and the fireworks are going off, and then protect Fiend. I hope so. Um, Next up was Becky versus Oscar, and I have to say, with this match, I thought because of the place it was in after the Fiend match, where people into the Fiend, people like the Fiend, and Daniel Bryan, this was a difficult spot for these two to be in, and they did a very good job of. I thought it was a real good match.
Yeah, I thought Becky and Oscar told the story that they needed to tell, right? I personally, I still think that Oscar should have won this match. I think it was more, it'd have been more upside to
Yeah,
having her win. I really think it would have been a good move to put the title on Oscar, and it was going to be a real like a detailed story, like a redemption story that could have been told with Becky Lynch. So you know, I think it's going to be I think it's going to be real interesting to see what they do with Oscar after this. Becky, I I really don't know what they're gonna do with her. I mean, I feel like of course they got plans, but I don't know what they're gonna do with her. So that actually interests me to the fact that I don't know what they're doing or where they're going with her. So uh, it's gonna be interesting because I don't think the Charlotte thing is happening at all. So it's gonna be interesting, man. I kind of like it when I don't when it's not predictable and I really don't have a clue as to what is about to happen.
yeah, and that's what you want, isn't it? Is unpredictability and a bit of guessing. Um, I think from a WWE point of view, they think that they think that Becky losing the title after all this time is a WrestleMania moment rather than losing it the month before or 2 months before WrestleMania. Like I think they think that, but I kind of agree with you. I thought that Oscar winning it here and then Becky desperately trying to get it back is a good story to tell. Got the big one, mate. The big one, the men's Royal Rumble. There is
This,
some big dudes in this match.
I really enjoyed this match. Really enjoyed this match. This is one of the better rumbles that I can remember, and I think you had a lot of good stories within the rumble. Mostly everybody that was in the ring with the next person, they kind of had a feud with them like early on. Most of the guys had beef with Brock early on.
Yeah,
Uh, Kofi got. I'm so glad they didn't have Kofi going in and get eliminated immediately. That had to piss me off.
yeah,
I think Kofi had a good showing. I like how Big E, Rey Mysterio, and Kofi teamed up and beat the hell out of Brock. You know, Drew McIntyre was made during this match. Of
finally.
course, yeah, finally after Vince McMahon saying he's the chosen one in 2010. It took 10 years, but yeah, he's the chosen one now. It took 10 years, so you know that was real good. I really enjoyed this match. Like one of my favorite interactions throughout the match was when Keith Lee had the interaction with Brock. But that crowd went insane when Keith Lee came. I was so happy for Keith Lee, man. Like I was like I was so happy for him.
Brock does such a good job with his mannerisms
Man, I'm
um,
telling you.
to put over Keith Lee. He was like mouthing to Paul Heyman, like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And I just little things like that make such a difference. Um, and I gotta say, like, man, so cool just seeing them face off and all that sort of stuff. I thought actually I did think that they would kind of give Keith Lee a bit longer. But I thought he had a great run in the Rumble. Like he went pretty deep, and he had that moment. You know, like if he wasn't going to win, it's about what moments he can get, and that moment with Brock is just one of those moments that you'll remember coming out of the
Mm,
show.
definitely, and one of the better parts is when Keith Lee was coming down to the ring, Brock was like, "What's a big boy?" And
Yeah,
that was hilarious. And then when he got in the ring, Brock looked at Heyman. He was like, "Who was this mother?" He was
yeah,
like, that was funny. That was hilarious. And I saw some people. They was like, "Well, why would Brock say that?" And make I was like, "Bro, that made Keith Lee look like a monster." Because Brock was like, "Who the hell is this dude?"
yeah.
Like,
Didn't wanna fight him. He was like,
yeah,
damn.
he's like, "Who is he?" He's like, "It's a big boy right here. Who is this?" And Keith Lee is bigger than Brock.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Um, I was a little bit underwhelmed with the Shinsuke Brock face off.
Man, dude, that is a story that WWE is just folding on. But I really don't think that's something that they should revisit because I know they really don't like each other. I don't know if Brock really remembers Shinsuke, but I know Shinsuke does not like Brock at
Is
all.
that right?
Like at all. You never heard that story?
No,
For real? You really never heard
no,
of that
no. I
story?
never heard that story.
Okay, so let me pull it up right quick because I wrote an article on it last year, and let me just pull it up real quick. But yeah, Shinsuke is not a fan of Brock Lesnar at all. They actually had some type of beef back in the day, and they I mean, I'm just Shinsuke is not a Brock guy at all. He does not like Brock. Not a fan of Brock
Is
in
that
the
right?
slightest. So
Did not know that.
let me find this. Uh oh yeah, so Shinsuke Nakamura and Brock Lesnar they face each other at Wrestle Kingdom before it was called Wrestle Kingdom back in 2006. Uh Brock Lesnar beat Shinsuke to retain the IWGP heavyweight title. Yeah, after losing to Brock, Shinsuke was about to go on an excursion, but that didn't happen. Yeah, but that didn't happen between because of legal issues between. Hold on, wait. So yeah, after Shinsuke lost to Brock Lesnar, Shinsuke was set to go on an excursion in the United States, but that did not happen due to legal issues between WWE and Brock Lesnar. And New Japan claimed those were just visa issues, and that led to Brock being stripped of the title. Oh yeah, and Shinsuke Nakamura, his book, King of Strong Style, basically what he said was, and I quote, he said that he cried after the match. He said part of that was luck, but that match was seriously rough. First, Lesnar was saying all this stuff about how he respected New Japan, but it felt like to me he was just for the show, that he didn't respect promotion. Like somewhere he was looking down on Japanese people. I lost the match, and that was the first time I cried at pro wrestling after a match. It was the main event at Tokyo Dome. That was a pretty hollow stage, and I knew I hadn't fought the way I imagined I would. And there was like this temperature between me and Lesnar. I didn't get the sense he had in doing his job. I felt like this was too much. He was seriously scoffing at us. Lesnar won the championship and took the belt home. I told Simon, who was the booker at the time of the company, didn't get his shit in order. The belt was definitely going to get nicked. I didn't honestly believe that when we fought, but it ended up just like I feared. He has the physical stuff plus a straightforward strength and a certain amount of flexibility. So there was a bit of a monster to him, but I didn't like his personality. He might have made a real mark in UFC, but he didn't even seem to notice the audience booing him. I was like, oh, this guy is a heel to the core, and that is from Shinsuke Nakamura's book. So he
Wow,
really does not like Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I
not a
know that's a
fan.
lot. Like, uh,
So that's interesting to me because they still put them in together, which is kind of interesting because they didn't have to. They could have, they could have gone with a different person, different thing, just to kind of, you know, keep them apart, basically.
yeah, that's a real interesting story, man. Like I,
Yeah, man.
so maybe we get Shinsuke Nakamura and Brock shooting for real. We
Shooting.
need it. Mm.
And then we had MVP return. He chased Heyman around the ring before Lesnar gets him in, and he kind of fights back, and he gets an F5, and he did what he needed to do. Um, what did you think when you heard MVP's music?
Yeah, I was surprised to see him. It was good to see him. I kind of got spoiled over the weekend though.
Yeah,
When I saw the graphic on Twitter, I kind of got spoiled. But it's good to see MVP, and always good to see MVP. He's one of those guys that probably could have been world champion in WWE back in his day. It really doesn't get mentioned enough that MVP was the first IWGP Intercontinental Champion. That does not get talked about enough. I think he's the only black IWGP Intercontinental Champion at that too. So it's good to see MVP. So yeah, I'm glad
yeah,
to see
man.
him.
Um, so we get to a point where AJ Styles is coming in, and him and Carl Anderson are kind of beating down some people in the ring, and then the number hits, number 21.
You think you know me?
Yep, and the
That
place comes
crowd,
unglued. I didn't think there
man.
was going to be a bigger
Oh
pop.
my
I
lord.
did. There was a massive pop when Lesnar was eliminated by Drew McIntyre, like a huge pop. I didn't think we were going to get a bigger pop than that.
Yeah, that crowd went crazy.
But when Edge came out, it was special. It was one of those special pops we talked about last time, um, about like the Hardy Boys and the AJ Styles debut, those types of pops, which are like filled with emotion, like Daniel Bryan coming back. This was right up there with that type of pop where people are genuinely like cut up with emotion as they're cheering. And you could see in Edge's face how emotional it was for him as well. So, guys, we lost Andrew uh, during the recording of the show, and since then I've been trying to edit this show down, and it's like the cursed podcast. I just haven't been able to get the video sorted. So I'm just going to run through the last part of the Rumble to finish off the show, and me and Andrew will be back next week to talk NXT Portland. So let's have a go. So, yeah, we just when we lost Andrew, we were talking about Edge. He The pop he got was simply incredible, incredible stuff. It's just one of those emotional pops, which was right up there with the Hardys and some of those other returns, which have just get you right in the feels, get you right in the feels. Unfortunately, as he's come in, he's hit an edge, hit a spear on AJ Styles, and AJ's landed awkwardly as he's come down because he's tried to do an inside-out sell for the spear, and he's landed on his shoulder, and he's suffered a separated shoulder. And then following by that, you had King Corbin enters, Matt Riddle enters. I tell you what they did with Matt Riddle is they fucked him up. They fucked him over for the main roster audience again. They are wasting this dude. He should be going against either Goldberg or Lesnar at Mania, and they keep fucking him over. And I, for one, am sick of it. You have Luke Gallows comes in, who obviously they were going to do some spots with AJ, but because AJ was injured, he had Edge throw him out, and Edge has got to stay in for longer, which means we don't quite know if AJ was going to be in the final four, maybe, or if it was going to be Edge. But yeah, Matt Riddle comes in, Luke Gallows comes in, you get Randy Orton, and you get the old rated RKO reunion during the Rumble, which was pretty awesome to see. And I really liked how they had Edge take out Randy Orton before he did it to him. I thought that was clever. Kevin Owens comes in, and you kind of get the Seth Rollins is number 30. He comes out with Buddy Murphy and AOP. They kind of all do their brawl to the back thing. And then eventually it's down to the final four, which is Edge, McIntyre, Orton, and Reigns. And like I said, Edge turned on Orton. McIntyre gets rid of everyone and wins. Great stuff. I really, really enjoyed this Rumble. It's one of the best ones there's been for a very, very long time. Very long time. I'm not going to keep you guys too long because it's been a long show anyway where we covered Worlds Collide, and also I don't like talking to myself. I prefer to bounce off Andrew because he's my guy. Andrew will be back with me to talk NXT Portland and probably some New Japan as well, and just the graps and the wrestling and all that good stuff. Check out Andrew's YouTube channel, Andrew Thompson Interviews. Check out Ace Podcast Nation YouTube for all the videos of all our shows and audio at all the usual podcasting sites. Please give the video a like, subscribe, and help us grow. Guys, see you next time. Sorry for the technical issues. Won't happen again. I've changed the software, so no problems no more. Cheers, guys. See you next time. Bye. So, guys, we lost Andrew during the recording of the show, and since then I've been trying to edit this show down, and it's like the cursed podcast. I just haven't been able to get the video sorted. So I'm just going to run through the last part of the Rumble to finish off the show, and me and Andrew will be back next week to talk NXT Portland. So let's have a go. So, yeah, we just when we lost Andrew, we were talking about Edge. The pop he got was simply incredible, incredible stuff. It's just one of those emotional pops, which was right up there with the Hardys and some of those other returns, which have just get you right in the feels, get you right in the feels. Unfortunately, as he's come in, he's hit an edge, hit a spear on AJ Styles, and AJ's landed awkwardly as he's come down because he's tried to do an inside-out sell for the spear, and he's landed on his shoulder, and he's suffered a separated shoulder. And then following by that, you had King Corbin enters, Matt Riddle enters. I tell you what they did with Matt Riddle is they fucked him up. They fucked him over for the main roster audience again. They are wasting this dude. He should be going against either Goldberg or Lesnar at Mania, and they keep fucking him over. And I, for one, am sick of it. You have Luke Gallows comes in, who obviously they were going to do some spots with AJ, but because AJ was injured, he had Edge throw him out, and Edge has got to stay in for longer, which means we don't quite know if AJ was going to be in the final four, maybe, or if it was going to be Edge. But yeah, Matt Riddle comes in, Luke Gallows comes in, you get Randy Orton, and you get the old rated RKO reunion during the Rumble, which was pretty awesome to see. And I really liked how they had Edge take out Randy Orton before he did it to him. I thought that was clever. Kevin Owens comes in, and you kind of get the Seth Rollins is number 30. He comes out with Buddy Murphy and AOP. They kind of all do their brawl to the back thing. And then eventually it's down to the final four, which is Edge, McIntyre, Orton, and Reigns. And like I said, Edge turned on Orton. McIntyre gets rid of everyone and wins. Great stuff. I really, really enjoyed this Rumble. It's one of the best ones there's been for a very, very long time. Very long time. I'm not going to keep you guys too long because it's been a long show anyway, where we covered Worlds Collide, and also I don't like talking to myself. I prefer to bounce off Andrew because he's my guy. Andrew will be back with me to talk NXT Portland and probably some New Japan as well, and just the graps and the wrestling and all that good stuff. Check out Andrew's YouTube channel, Andrew Thompson Interviews. Check out Ace Podcast Nation YouTube for all the videos of all our shows and audio at all the usual podcasting sites. Please give the video a like, subscribe, and help us grow. Guys, see you next time. Sorry for the technical issues. Won't happen again. I've changed the software, so no problems no more. Cheers, guys. See you next time. Bye.